It's a movie that conquers your emotions, makes you root for the obvious rom-com to play out, earning it with its wild personality and infectious heart. It makes you smile for year to year, laugh out loud constantly, and just makes you feel all warm and fuzzy in your tum-tum. Welcome back, movie fans, to my continuous coverage of the London Film Festival 2022, and prepare for the wildest review of the fest, as today we are discussing Bros, the first big studio gay rom-com that tells the story of two men with commitment issues as they attempt a relationship. And I was not prepared for how much this movie was going to make my stomach hurt. Early on in the film, on the very opening scene, there's a moment where Billy Eichner's character Bobby claims that gay romance, gay relationships are never like straight relationships, so naturally a gay rom-com should and could never be the same as a straight rom-com. This film commits to that, and it pays that off beautifully. This is an absolutely bonkers, wild, and hilarious script that not only celebrates LGBTQ+ history, but also sets its own benchmark in cinematic history. It would have been so easy for co-writers Billy Eichner and Nicholas Stoller, who also directs the film by the way, to coast around with this screenplay, deliver the serviceable, stereotypical rom-com without pushing any boundaries, and while there are familiar tropes permeating throughout in this one, there's enough twisting around of familiar ideas to feel refreshing in how it plays familiar genre moments, even calling out these very familiar genre moments. It is also a movie on a mission, preaching to always be true to oneself despite the circumstances or what the world tells them. It has such an infectious heart, such an encouraging, uplifting message, and it celebrates this all through its distinct characters. So at the very core of the film, there's a genuine, passionate heart carrying the story amidst all the gags. And the gags, guys, they are always a hit. Most of them are great ones, so wildly out there. It's so wonderful that they got away with so much, and it speaks to the film's distinct personality. You have a smart script with engaging humor, and that will always be a winning combo. And it needs to be said that the gags, jokes, puns, the humor of the film is quite distinct to the LGBTQ+ experience, but it never feels too inside baseball. I'm a straight white man and I laughed out loud throughout this entire film. It is also a very rated R movie with all its horniness, with all its jokes. It pushes the boundaries very much, and I couldn't be happier with it. My mouth was open constantly because I was constantly laughing. At points, I could barely breathe. And Billy Eichner genuinely deserves immense praise for doing it all. Co-writing the script, being extremely funny, displaying singing ability, and enough emotional range, plus sharing electrifying chemistry with Luke McFarlane. These two are a pair and a half. The humor that comes between both of them, how their relationship blossoms through this film, is so wild. It is so unique to who these characters are, to what this film is trying to say about itself, and there's actually layers to them. There's a meta level to the characterizations in each character and to each of their distinct personalities, and they have wildly different personalities. They clash all the time, and how they clash not only creates natural conflict and friction that is engaging, that is fun, that invests you in the story, but brings out so much of who they are, and it gives way for a lot of laughs. Billy Eichner particularly, he's trying to create this museum that celebrates LGBTQ history with other members of the LGBTQ+ community, and these meetings are absolutely hilarious. I bet you never thought you hear someone say staff meetings in a movie are hilarious, but these ones are. And there are moments between these two as they're being brought together, as they're trying this relationship with one another, that just had me in absolute tears. One of them starts at a park and the two start to wrestle. And that's all I'm going to say. I will say the humor and heart are not in perfect sync 100% of the time. There is one or two subplots that are eventually dropped and forgotten, but my biggest issue is that there are plenty of filmmaking nitpicks permeating the entire movie. Some of the blocking feels really awkward and doesn't work at all, and obvious ADR moments in these over-the-shoulder shots where the lips don't sync with the sound coming out, they're just intrusive in these key scenes and take away from the full emotionality of key moments in the film. So it just really bothered me. But the focus on the will they, won't they romance really works. It's a movie that conquers your emotions, makes you root for the obvious rom-com to play out, earning it with its wild personality and infectious heart. It makes you smile for year to year, laugh out loud constantly, and just makes you feel all warm and fuzzy in your tum-tum. But before I dive into my final thoughts on Bros, I need you to start the conversation about it in the comments below. What is your favorite rom-com of the past, let's say, 5 years? And if you're enjoying my LFF coverage, if you're enjoying this Bros review, or if you just love movies and TV, this is the place to be. So consider clicking that subscribe button down there, and you won't miss any future conversations on your favorite movies and TV. Bros is unapologetically horny and wildly hilarious. A celebration of the self with sharp wit, a distinct identity, and quite clever meta layers to the characterizations. As frothy as it is endearing. And I'm giving Bros a B for Bros. And that is what I make of Bros. Don't forget to let me know your thoughts on it in the comments below. Start the conversation. Thank you so much for joining me in my LFF coverage. Big thanks to my channel members for always supporting the channel. And I'll be back very soon with more reviews. So until the next one, love each other and love the movies.